let's fill our cups. Commander decks in hand, the battle's about to start. A podcast for the legend, where magic meets the heart. Commander Pod, where the stories unfold, with heroes and villains, new and old. Duncan, Jeff, and Flo got the word. In the world of EVA we play.
Hello everyone, welcome again to Commander's Pod. I'm your Podfather, Duncan.
I'm Sloan.
And I'm Jeff, the Magic King.
The Magic King.
Magic.
Sounds like a children's book.
These are going to get worse, too.
They have.
Yes.
Yeah. Today we're going to talk about the Avatar set preview. We're going to try and go pretty quick because there is a lot to this.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have some tales from the table. The league ended, and I thought it was a pretty epic ending.
We're going to have double tails.
And instead of Aggro Jeff just came back from a cruise, so now he's not aggro. He's relaxed.
Tales from the cruise ship.
So he's got tales from the cruise ship. And pro tips.
No, we got to get through this.
All right. So no pro tips this week. The pro tip is pay attention because there's some good stuff in here.
Yes.
Well, I'll let you tales from the cruise. Why don't we start with that?
Yeah. So one, if you go on a cruise and you go up to like their card room or wherever people are playing cards, if you get your Magic stuff out, it's amazing how many people on a cruise
Not in the
love
casino.
Magic.
Not in the casino. He means the board game room, like
yeah.
the library.
Tons of people stopped and talked to us about the cards and said they were Magic players or love Magic. And we actually played with 3 separate people who were just like saw us playing and sat down to play with us. One of them had a deck, I think, and the other 2 borrowed decks. So it was awesome. And to give a shout out to those guys, it was Andrew, Keith, and Dominic. So we had fun with all 3 of them. It was pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I've thought about bringing my decks, but I'm always like, how? So I'm just going to go somewhere and sit down with my decks by myself. At least you had other people there to play with if no one else showed up.
Yeah, but I think you go up there and you play cards with your family or play a board game with your family, and then when you see other guys get out their Magic decks, you're like, hey, I have one too. Can I join?
Well,
And
that's
then
if
you
that
go get
happens.
it.
I'm just thinking just keep your Magic stuff, or wear a Magic shirt.
There you
That
go.
would work
Magic
too.
shirts every
Yeah.
year. That's cool. No, that's awesome. It's cool you ran into 3 people that weren't totally separate from you guys and played Magic. That's pretty cool. There is a Magic cruise they do every year. I think that would be fun.
Oh my gosh. No.
All right, so Tales from Table, real quick. It was the final week of the 2nd season of League. I was statistically able to get in the top 4, which were the prize-winning positions, but statistically unlikely to do so. The top 3 would all have to lose out, and I would have to win out.
Right.
So I was in, I think, 10th place.
Mm-hmm.
And it all boiled down to I missed 1 week because I was sick. Therefore, I'm missing 3 points. If I had
Also, you started with a different deck that performed poorly.
it performed well. People just board wiped so often I couldn't keep something going, and it got too expensive mana-wise. But anyway, I could have, if I hadn't missed that week, I counted it up with those 3 extra points. I would have made 4th place at the end, but didn't. So there we are. So going into the night, this gentleman Caleb was in 1st place. He had been just winning almost every game for like the past 3 weeks.
Jeez.
So he just like zoomed out there.
Right. Yeah.
And then behind him was Bryce in 2nd place and Andrew in 3rd. After the first round, Bryce and Caleb were tied, and Andrew was 2 points behind.
Oh, okay.
And then they both lost the next round, so they stayed tied. I believe this is how it went. And Andrew won his, so then he's 1 game behind.
Oh.
So they are tied. He is 1 game behind going into the last round. I joked with Josh, the owner, and the judge, and said, let me play him in the last round. He let me play them in the last round. So it was the 3 of them and me. And the thought was, and it made sense to me, I'm a spoiler. I will,
Kingmaker, essentially.
Well, I sort of.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, you could make it so it's a 3-way tie, or you could give one of the other 2 guys the win.
So the thought was that one of them would try and work with me, in politicking and be like, hey.
Oh, they should have set me down at that table.
No, but like, hey, take out Andrew, and that way then the 2 people fight it out for 1st place solely, or if I win, then they split it. Only 2 ways instead of 3. That's not how it went. They conspired against me before they're all pointing at me from the other end of the floor when the seedings were announced. conspiring against me. Not real bad. I mean, it wasn't like they were blowing up all my stuff, but they definitely were more focused on me than each other.
Yeah.
But I was still persevering, and I could have killed Andrew on my turn. But right before my turn, Bryce blew up my Tatalimo. Tatalimo, I think that's how you say it. The guy who's, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, you deal 1 damage.
Oh, yeah,
If
yeah.
you can't say it, you can't play it.
I did say it.
I don't know. It's debatable.
And he stole that, so now I'm only going to deal 3 damage, or 2 damage on anything 3 or more, and nothing less than that. My plan was, and I still followed through with it, I put Grievous Wounds on Andrew. He had 44 life. And at the end of my turn, he had 15. But if I had had that, I would have cast 3 more spells and killed him. But c'est la vie.
Yeah.
So he killed on Andrew's turn. He right after that he killed me and he killed Caleb. Caleb had nothing going, and to Bryce's credit, he held him off for 4 rounds by playing things that deflected damage or all that. But he just could not.
Yeah, couldn't do it.
And it was just inevitable because also on the turn that he killed me and Caleb, he went up to 87 life or something like that. It was ridiculous.
Oh.
Like it was not realistic that Bryce was going to take him out with his 1 creature. So.
Right.
So that was the Tales from the Table. So right now it is a 3-way tie. There is a possibility they will play a tiebreaker. They're still working out the details. Otherwise, they split a full box of Avatar play boosters, a half a box of Avatar play boosters, and a quarter, because that would have been the first, second, and third price.
Right.
So that's where it stands right now, is they're going to pool those and split them.
Cool.
So that was that. I thought it was pretty cool. It was epic how it turned out. And I thought it was cool I was involved in that final table.
Yeah, that is fun, man.
Yep. But let's get into Avatar. There's a lot to talk about. The treatments. So there's a lot of cool stuff here. The chase card is the raised foil Avatar Aang.
Yes.
This is like the borderless soulstone they did.
Yeah, they did. This is the one, if you remember, they debuted it at the con a while ago. This is that card. So that one is the one that is still the chase card. It's really pretty, really well done. It is the art that they showed. They even did a little video, if you remember, of them like showing them sketching it out and designing it and stuff. So.
And if of course, they never say how many they print, but if it is as rare as the Infinity Stone, the Soul Stone, there's only a handful.
I'm guessing it is mythic. I think it is a mythic.
It is a mythic, but I think it's much rarer than mythic.
Yeah.
This version of it. Mm-hmm. But then, so they also have the Battle Pose cards. These are neon ink foil textless cards. There are 4 of them. Mm-hmm. I could only find images of 3. So I'm guessing on the 3rd. I've seen Zuko. I've seen Katara. I've seen Toph. And I have to assume the other one's Aang.
Yep.
So that was what makes sense. But
it's it's because it's the 4 benders, the 4 main benders of the good guys.
They have not shown the picture of Aang that I can tell.
No, they did. They showed.
Okay.
Yeah, it's somewhere.
Then those are only available in collector boosters as
Correct. And then this is actually kind of what Jeff talked about a little while ago, where he talked about he just wants a card with the full picture on it. That kind of are like the tokens that we get. That's what the Battle Pose cards actually are. It's just full art. There's no like wording of their abilities or anything. It just has their name, power, and toughness, and at the very top the name of the card, and then that's in their CMC, and then that's it. There's no like rules text or anything on it. So funny enough, they actually did exactly.
Do you like this art though?
Yeah, I do actually. I think it's really pretty, and then them in foil is sick because it actually like it highlights like the bending on it. So like for Zuko, it highlights like the fire symbol and the fire that he's kicking.
I like these.
For Toph's, it emphasizes her. So I think they're really cool and they're well designed. And the main reason why they're really cool is because those are stills from the intro of the show in the beginning where it says water, earth, air, fire. There's a person that does each of those bendings, and that is part of that still for that picture, for that battle pose, is from that intro.
There you go. The next one is source material cards. Mm-hmm. These are shots from the original series on an existing Magic card. 61 in all. There were 61 episodes.
This thing looks sick.
So the reason why these cards are significant, Duncan just said it. So there was a total of 61, they called them chapters. So it was 3 books, 61 chapters in total. And every single one of these represents a chapter from the show. So all the way from book 1, chapter 1, all the way to the end, which is the one that Jeff's probably going to talk about. Book 3, chapter 61. All of them are stills from the original show, from the episode that is listing in the corner.
Yep, they list them right in the corner. The foils are only available in collector boosters, non-foils in play or collector boosters.
And then these two, just in case you guys are wondering, these are the ones that they were talking about, how in the collector boosters, it's guaranteed you'll get one of these pretty much in every collector booster pack.
Yep. And then
the play boosters, it's 1 in 24, I think is what they said is the pack ratio.
You might get one in a box.
Right. So you might get one in a play booster box if you go for that. But if you get a collector boosters, you're guaranteed to get one in every single pack.
And these are going to be expensive because these are good. At least the two I'm looking at are good, expensive cards.
Yeah, there are a lot of really expensive cards. They're great.
So like collecting all 61 is going to cost some money.
And they did a really good job of matching up really good cards with, from what I know, really good scenes.
Right, and the other cool thing is that we actually have 2 reprints that have never had another reprint till now.
Which two?
I don't remember, but they are from sets from almost over 15 years ago.
Oh yeah, they're gonna probably be what set is that with like the?
They're cards that aren't like crazy powerful, but I believe
like those sets that have horsemanship and stuff.
I don't think, it was like one of the older ones, but I think one of them is the card that creates a Zeppelin token from a while ago. But the funny thing is they never created the Zeppelin token for it.
Yeah.
And then when they made this, they said, just so you know, we're not creating any tokens or anything that goes with these bonus sheet cards. So we still actually don't have the token for that
They
card.
tend to do that.
Yeah.
There's a few things that make tokens, and they're like, we're not printing that. And then when they reprint it, they're like, we're still not.
Yeah, so
they double down.
But they did a good job of picking the person because they picked someone that was an engineer in the show, and then basically you tap that creature and you create a Zeppelin token. So, and that's literally what he designed in the show was a Zeppelin.
Well, so that worked
Yeah,
out.
it was really
There's
good.
a lot of things. Imprisoned in the Moon.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they reprinted Imprisoned in the Moon, and they have it as when Sokka and Yue have their last moment before she becomes the Moon. So again, very flavorful.
It's so weird how that matches up, right?
Oh yeah, it's almost like they knew, and it was literally the thing. Like one of the things everyone was talking about. Like they need to make Imprisoned in the Moon with you, and sure enough, they did it. Yue is on Imprisoned in the Moon.
Yeah. So the last one is scene cards. Now this is not the scene boxes that they're doing. That's separate. These are the scene cards printed in the set.
So I looked it up and I double checked. So originally they only announced 1 scene box. They actually have 2 now that are officially announced that you can just go out and buy the box and you'll get the full scene. So there's 2. The one that they originally announced is actually the one that has what we think is Duncan's chase card, which is Qatar's Reversal, which is the counter up to 4 spells and on tap, the crazy one for like 5 mana or whatever. So that one is part of one of the scene boxes. And then they announced a second scene box, which has a bunch of the character couples from the show. And then, like Duncan just mentioned, there's even other scenes that are available just in the printing that aren't scene boxes.
So there's ones from books 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
The book 1 is a 4-card scene. The book 2 is a 6-card scene. The book 3 is a 9-card scene.
Yeah.
For this one, both foil and non-foil are available in play and collector boosters.
Which is cool. I'm glad they did that. Because the art on the one specifically I'm thinking about, which is the 9-card one, which is, it's like the black and white art for Fire Lord Ozai, Fire Lord Azula, I think it's Fire Lord. Yeah, Fire Lord Zuko. It's like the black and white art. It actually has a full, if you put all 9 of them together, it makes this really cool, like black and white picturesque. It's really well done. And the foil, when I saw someone show it, one of the guys who got stuff early, was clean. So
that's cool.
Yeah, they did a good job.
That's good. So those are the treatments. That's how you can get them. New mechanics, of course, firebending. Firebending is whenever a creature with this ability attacks, you add X red mana until end of combat. You don't lose this as mana and steps end. Now, when I first heard someone explain firebending, they didn't say till combat ends. They said till turn ends. So I was, it's not as good. But there's still a lot of stuff you can do with mana in combat.
Also, if you can manage to play a creature where you don't lose mana as phases end.
Fire Lord Ozai.
Yeah. But this can get really gross.
There's a bunch of them, actually.
Yeah, there's a lot, but specifically Fire Lord Ozai is disgusting.
Yeah.
He's so gross.
Yep.
They made the villains really cool. It makes me mad because I want so many of the villains now. I was like, no, screw the villains. I don't care about. But no, they're all so good. I want everything.
Yep. Earthbending Target land you control becomes a 0/0 creature until it's in addition to its other types and gains haste, but it retains its other abilities. Put X+1 counters on it, so it'll say earthbending in a number. If it dies or is exiled, return it to the battlefield.
Which is amazing.
That's amazing.
So good. This, in my opinion, so I was telling Duncan earlier, these two mechanics, you could argue which one's won. Like, they're both so good, and there's really good ways to chain their abilities with these abilities specifically. But it's just crazy because, to me, like, Landfall's already good as it is. Now imagine having Landfall where you're incentivized to use your lands to attack because you're going to get them back and trigger Landfall again.
Yeah,
like, it's just
Earthbending, I think, is by far the most powerful.
And that's the thing is, there's a really good case for it being the strongest, but then when you start looking up firebending and all the combos that people can do with firebending, and then you're like, well, there's a really strong case for firebending being the strongest one.
I can see people taking earthbending and turning into mass land destruction because yours will come back and theirs.
Oh yeah,
I would
absolutely.
say firebending has a higher ceiling, but earthbending has a higher floor.
Yeah, I think
Like
that's a good way to put
earthbending is
it.
just good in everything, and firebending you have to build around.
Because the nice thing with earthbending, to your point, is like, if you just have earthbending in your deck, but it's not a landfall deck, it's still going to benefit you in the sense that you have creatures. If it dies, great. I still get it back. Whatever. Don't care.
Imagine a 1/1 chump blocker that never dies.
Right. Exactly. As long as you can keep reanimating it with your earthbending, you're good. You're set. So.
I am a little offended that waterbending is a tax almost.
Yeah. Well,
it's an additional cost. Pay the waterbending cost, which is a generic mana cost, but you may tap untapped artifacts or creatures you control for 1 mana per.
Right. So, and I get that it's kind of frustrating because you're like, well, this is like the only one that seems like I have to pay something to really get the benefit from it.
But it's not like you pay this and get this. It's an additional cost to do stuff.
Right, but a lot of the cards that have waterbending or that are going to care about this ability really benefit from you using it, right? So like I think that's kind of why they did that, because earthbending, ultimately, you're only ever able to target one creature at a time, one land at a time, right? I can only ever earthbend 2. Okay, earthbend that one land. Okay, now I have to have another card that says Earthbend 2 or something to be able to do the next one or whatever it may be. This one, it's like, I cast a spell. I waterbend 15 this time. Like, you can kind of choose what you want to do with it.
Does that mean you'd get to untap an artifact 15 times?
No.
So what you'd have to do is you have to tap down artifacts or creatures.
It's kind of like
to pay for you. Yeah, it's like Convoke for the waterbending ability. But there's some that are like waterbend X, so you can choose how much you want to waterbend into it. Like, you actually choose the amount that you put into it. And so you can decide one time, I don't need any of these creatures this turn. Tap, 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 and you just tap all your creatures into it. And you don't have to spend any mana.
Waterbend.
Right. And that's how you pay for the waterbend. So
sometimes
I get it.
What it is like the spell is a reduced cost from what you would normally pay, but then there's a waterbending cost to make up for that, but now you can...
additional benefits or...
Yeah. Or just to pay for the
like,
spell.
Yeah, just to pay for the spell.
It's a bit like Convoke.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah,
for ads and artifacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's...
an additional cost, not a main cost.
Right.
And sometimes you do get a benefit from it.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just the cost. Airbending, you exile 1 or more permanents or spells. Those may be cast by its owner from exile by paying 2 rather than paying its mana cost.
Yep. So this is really good for, like flicker decks, bounce decks, stuff like that. This is going to be that mechanic that you're going to use. The nice thing is, though, is that you can choose when you want to put it back in, as opposed to most flicker mechanics where it just kind of goes up and down. So you can leave, like, you're like, you know what, I'm going to leave them in there. Because once you airbend something, it's there. Like, you don't, like, if they kill the creature that made it airbend, it doesn't matter. You can decide when you want to cast it because the effect's already taken hold. So you could be like, you know what, I'm going to airbend all my creatures because I think someone's going to board wipe, or I can do it. Some of them are instances, so you could do it in response to a board wipes.
Maybe your own.
Or maybe your own. So, and of course, it makes sense. It's in white. It's mainly a white mechanic that you're going to see. So.
No, I think that one's good. It's got both offensive and defensive uses.
Right. And I will say one of the most fair board wipes they've ever created, it now exists because of airbending. I think it's 3 white, airbend all creatures. So basically, you board wipe everything, and it's like, they're not gone forever.
Just pay 2.
You just got to pay 2 for each one of them you want back. Yeah. But the funny thing is that the card then also says players can't cast cards, opponents can't cast cards from exile until your next turn.
Yeah.
So it delays them being able to cast them immediately.
It's a better and a worse board wipe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
because there's nothing else that really prevents
Nothing
them.
stops airbend. It's not target, so
That isn't. That's just a blanket. Everything gets airbended. No one, your opponents can't.
so that's
cast.
actually a really, really good card. Yeah.
Because it makes everyone delay at least one turn for getting their stuff back.
Returning mechanics. They're bringing back clue and food tokens.
Yep.
Flashback and exhaust.
Yep.
So there you go. They also brought back lesson, but it doesn't really
true.
do anything because they didn't bring back what's the other part of lesson. I forget the name of it, but there's another part that lessons care about.
So yeah, this is it's weird the wording on it. So lessons were I think it was like the type of card it was, but now lessons now is the subtype in this set instead. So like the lessons aren't the same, but they are, but they're not.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was confusing.
Yeah.
So cards we like.
Well, actually, real quick before we get to this part, I just want to point out, only new mechanics were the bending.
But that is for new mechanics.
But my point is, in my opinion, if you're going to add new mechanics to this game, as long as they're flavorful and they make sense, great, do it. This, I think they did great. I think the fact that they did water bending, air bending, fire bending, and earth bending, and that's it. They didn't try to add any other weird mechanics that kind of didn't make sense.
For a set like this, where it's a Universes Beyond, you have to.
Yeah.
You can't be like,
Right.
oh yeah, they have these abilities, but,
But
we're
stop
not going to
doing it in
reference
every
them.
other set.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, in the lore-based sets, I guess is what we'll say. There's no reason to keep adding new mechanics. Like you have Universes Beyond to do that. I feel like just bring back mechanics. Bring back Detain, please. For the love of God, I'm asking you. I want Detain to be usable.
I think we're all waiting for horsemanship to come.
I mean,
Shadow.
Shadow's great. I mean, we got so many.
Wait, what's the one where banding? Let's just,
Yeah, banding.
And flanking.
Flanking's a good one too.
so many
Yep.
ridiculous.
So I mean, I will say I like the fact that was the only new mechanics they added were the bending stuff. To me, that made sense and it was great. And then they brought back some mechanics. Specifically, I think they brought back the food tokens because of the fact that we have Cabbage Man.
Yep.
So that's like his whole shtick. And the secret layer, one actually, and like I said, they announced more secret layers after we talked. So the one secret layer is all Cabbage Man. Like it's all based around things getting destroyed. And it's pictures of him with his cart being destroyed all through the series in different areas, so which was pretty funny and flavorful. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the reason why they brought back food tokens is because of him. So, but yeah, cards we like.
First one I have is Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong. Pay 1, tap, scry 2. That's pretty gross. I mean, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Don't make me pay for stupid scry. But it also has, whenever you scry or surveil, look at the top card of your library. You may cast that card without paying its mana cost. Do this only once each turn.
Yeah, now it is a 6-drop, but it is a legendary artifact. So, that's nice. This, for those who don't know, this is when they went to the library of the gentleman Wang Qitong, who is a spirit that lives in their realm still in his library, and he collects knowledge of everything. And it literally was a planetarium, and basically the point of it was they were trying to get there to figure out when they could attack the Fire Nation on Day of Black Sun, which is a solar eclipse. And so that's what that planetarium is. That's where they discovered it. So it's kind of cool that that's why they did it, because the whole point of that was they were trying to base a battle plan on attacking the Fire Lord on the day where he was going to be weakest, and they discovered, oh, there's a solar eclipse coming, which firebenders get their power from the sun, i.e. we're going to scry into the future and see when we can try to take advantage of the situation.
And if you want to understand like value level for this thing, there's a card called Chimbal, the Inner Sun, which is 6 colorless legendary artifact. Spells you control can't be countered. At the beginning of your end step, discover 5. Now, it's obviously not the same, but I would say they're fairly on par. This card is $22.
Yeah, and that's also 6 CMC.
Yeah, it's also 6 CMC.
So same exact mana value.
I feel like this card is possibly better than Chamil, which means, logically, it should
unlike
hold
with Discover,
value.
you get to scry or whatever.
You get to decide what you want to cast, basically.
Yeah, and it has scry on it itself. So if you're doing a scry ability and you still don't find it, you put them all at the bottom, you scry 2 more, and now you should find
And
something.
that was on each turn that you do it, right? Not
once
just
per turn.
Once per turn, right. So literally, as long as you have a way to scry on every person's turn, one round you can do 4 free spells.
Yep. Jeff, what's your first one? Because you're not picking specific ones, you're just talking months.
Yeah, one of the things that I like what they do in sets is when they choose to focus on some niche cards that are really good. They're really good cards, but they're not really good in every deck. They're just really good in some decks.
Right.
So the first ones I'll talk about is there are some pretty good shrines in here. So if like you had a shrine deck, there's some pretty good shrines. Like one of them is Northern Air Temple for 1 black. When Northern Air Temple enters, each opponent loses X life and you gain X life, where X is the number of shrines you control. Whenever another shrine you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I won't read the next card, but it's Southern Air Temple, and it gives 1/1 counters. And I think there's another shrine or two. And then there's also Hay Forest Guardian, which could be a replacement for our current shrine commander. And this guy just says 3 and a green. When he enters, reveal cards on top of your library into your reveal shrine card. You may put that card onto the battlefield, then shuffle. So you get any shrine onto the battlefield, which is very good.
Right.
And then you pay Wooburg, tap it. For each legendary enchantment you control, create a 1/1 color spirit creature token with. This token can't block or be blocked by non-spirit creatures. So you could have 6 of these things that can't be blocked.
Right.
Which is nuts. So there's just, I really, that would be my first stuff, is sort of just a shrine cards.
Yeah, and those 2 specifically you mentioned were the 2 air temples in the show, and one of them Aang was from, and when he went back to visit, the gentleman we were speaking about earlier, actually the mechanic that created the Zeppelin in the show, he had moved in there with his family and started a small tribe there, but he had made a deal with the Fire Nation, and so he actually was working for the Fire Nation, and they kind of desecrated the temple, which is why the one that is the Northern Air Temple is a black one, and it looks like it's a little bit like darker and not as,
not as friendly.
Yeah, not as friendly, as opposed to the Southern Air Temple one, which looks more like, an untouched Southern Air Temple, which is what that kind of represents.
Yeah. Yep. And this glowing panda looks like a glowing panda because it eats too much glowing bamboo.
Close. Hebei is the spirit guardian for a forest in one of the episodes that was being attacked and demolished by the Fire Nation. And so his docile form is a panda, but his non-docile form, when he was angry, was like this panda mutated monster. And he was protecting
the shrine. They should have done a flip card for him then.
They could have done a flip card for him. That would have been cool. But yeah, he was, when Aang kind of helped him bring peace back to the forest, he went back to his normal form, which was the panda version. And then you see him again later in the show. But he was protecting the shrine of the forest. That's why
pandas are the dumbest animal.
So my next one, to go with the planetarium of Wan Shi Tong, is Wan Shi Tong Librarian.
Yep.
That's not what you have written down, but we won't say what you have written down.
Sure, that definitely is. He's a legendary creature, bird spirit, costs X and 2 blue. He is a 1/1. He has flash, flying, and vigilance. When Wan Shi Tong enters, put X +1/+1 counters on him, then draw half X cards rounded down. Yeah,
pretty good.
Not bad.
Not bad. But whenever an opponent searches their library, put a +1/+1 counter on Wan Shi Tong and draw a card.
Yep.
And
searches any land, so sack land that goes against the land, Kadama's Reach, cultivate, any of that stuff.
Yep, any of that stuff. Anything that says go get an equipment, any of the tutors. Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
So pretty good.
Yeah, he, again, to reemphasize, that character specifically was a spirit of knowledge. So he's an owl, if you're looking at the art. And the one that Duncan brought up specifically is I really like that card style that they did, where it's kind of like almost like old school blueprints like style. And the reason why there's like a bunch of different kind of artifacts behind him is because that's what he did, was he collected knowledge from the world and he stored it in his library. So they kind of represent that with some of the stuff around him in that picture in the background. So
that's
very cool.
I have another one that's...
I knew you were going to talk about this one.
Yeah, this is a niche card. It doesn't go. I mean, I think it could go in a decent amount of decks, but
I mean, it is colorless.
The walls of Ba Sing Se.
From the windows to the walls.
This wall specifically to this wall.
It costs 8 mana, so it's not cheap.
But hold on.
Legendary artifact creature wall. It's just a wall, so no big deal. Defender, so they can't even attack. Other permanents you control have indestructible.
Re-say that one word again, right after other.
Other permanents.
Permanents, not creatures.
You control have indestructible.
Yeah, not creatures.
And it's a 0/30. So
my man.
But so it's gonna avoid like any damage spell that does damage. Like especially
Blasphemous Act.
It's like we're still.
Well, until we get to your next card.
This goes really good in a wall deck, which I have a wall deck, Arcades. And there's a couple other big butt decks too, but this is just in the right deck. It's just a lot of fun. So
Baator Kin to All. I couldn't remember the name of my commander. That I'm like, I gotta put that in that. Baator Kin to All cares about toughness of creatures.
Yeah, there's a song that goes slightly different, but the modified version for this card is who's got the biggest butt of them all.
Yep.
That guy. I don't think there's a single card that has a bigger printed defense than that card in all of Magic. And like to Jeff's point. If you put him in a deck that says creatures you control deal damage with their toughness, he is now the biggest printed power card in all of Magic with 30.
30.
Yeah. I do like the fact that they didn't make him give himself indestructible because in the show it does actually technically get destroyed a little bit by actually another card, Fire Nation Drill, which actually has the ability to sack and destroy target, I think, wall, it says, or target creature or what have you. So it actually is specifically designed to be able to blow that card up, which I thought was really funny.
Yep.
But yeah, Ba Sing Se is the great nation, great capital of the earthbending nation. So that's why that's significant, and the wall is huge.
Seems like they were taking a nap when the fire people went and killed everybody.
No, in the show, what ended up happening is the next card that Duncan's about to talk to, she actually infiltrated and tricked them and took over from the inside. Infiltration style, espionage, as it were.
Well, they should have been better.
I mean, true.
Can't say anything.
So the one I have is Fire Lord Azula.
This card.
1, a blue, a black, and a red for a 4/4 legendary creature, human noble.
Yeah.
Firebending 2.
Yeah.
So whenever this creature attacks, you get 2 red mana.
Yeah.
This mana lasts until end of combat. Whenever you cast a spell while Fire Lord Azula is attacking, copy that spell. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Yeah.
Good grief.
So you get mana to cast a spell, and then you get to copy a spell.
Yeah, I know what the best part about this is, too? It doesn't care who's casting the spell or why in regards to creatures that you control. It just cares that she's attacking when you do it. So our good friend Atali, the dinosaur... when he attacks, you get to cast spells off other people's libraries for free.
Yes, you do.
And guess what you get to do when she's attacking with them?
You get to copy that spell.
Yeah, so you get 6 spells. Actually 8 technically. You could get 8 spells.
If you don't get, like I always do, in 3 lands, and a ramp or something.
Yeah,
right.
Did Spellslinger really need more help?
I mean, did Landfall really need more help with Earthbending?
But this is combat spell slinging.
Yeah, this is combat spell slinging.
Then it's okay.
Yeah, it's completely fine.
Yeah.
All you got to do is play the one card that says you can't cast spells during combat, and you're good.
Yeah.
Problem solved. I don't know what you're complaining about.
Why doesn't everybody just play that spell?
Yeah. So this is one of the 3 versions of Azula. So if you guys don't know, because there's 3 books in the series in the show, they made 3 different versions of most of the main characters. So Azula being one of the main characters, Aang, Toph, Katara, Sokka, Zuko, all these characters that were main characters throughout the show, Uncle Iroh. We get 3 different versions of them, and it's actually also kind of showing the growth of the characters and development of them, which again I thought was really cool because the last version of Azula, there's a card that it has a picture of her. I think it might be on the bonus sheet where she looks deranged because at the end of the show she basically goes crazy, like she goes insane, and so it's really epic how she appeared to be the calm and collective one when you first get introduced to her at the beginning of the show, and Zuko was the one that was kind of in shambles, and then by the end of it you kind of see how he gets redeemed and becomes this better person, and she goes insane and just becomes pure evil. So, but the main characters, as mentioned, you're going to get 3 different versions of those cards, not 3 different art styles of the same card, literally 3 different cards of each character, and it should represent different points of the show, book 1, book 2, and book 3. And that's why they did that.
That's cool. Jeff?
So there's a decent amount of cards, but I'm going to go to a land here. It's called Secret Tunnel.
Secret Tunnel!
It's a land cave, and you might not know the history of this. This in the show was actually a tunnel that was secret. So it has tap and add a colorless, or pay 4, tap. 2 target creatures you control that share a creature type can't be blocked this turn.
You forgot one of its abilities.
Oh, that it can't be blocked?
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm getting to that. So if you earthbend on this, it then can attack, and this land can't be blocked. Like if you can turn it into a creature, which there's lots of ways to do that.
Tough.
But I think the most likely thing the place you're going to use this the most is just the 4 mana tap it, make 2 things unblockable.
Right, and I was really
that's
happy.
That's just better than what currently exists.
Right, and I was really happy you brought this up because you talked about, and I think you did too, right, the emphasis of how good Rogue's Passage is in so many decks because of the fact that it's like, I get to make something unblockable. Yeah, same exact mana value, 2 things. So, again, they have to share a creature type.
So when you talk about them power creeping, they just doubled up a powerful card.
Yeah.
They put a limitation on it.
They did put a limitation on it. They made it so it's more, you have to have a little bit more creature focus. Yeah, you have to have creature focus. So it's not like you can make a dragon.
It's okay.
And
this goes in every one of my Kindred decks.
Right. Yeah. But the best part about this card, this was one of the cards I'd mentioned when they initially announced it, where I said Secret Tunnel needs either A, have to have its own card, or B, has to be Rogue's Passage. If it's not one of those 2 things, huge miss on their part, and they killed it. And the reason why it picks 2 creatures of the same type in the show, the Secret Tunnel, was kind of like a Romeo and Juliet story of the Avatar world, where warring nations, prince, princess, they fall in love, but they're not supposed to. They create this secret tunnel through this mountain pass that allows them to connect so that way they can be together through this war that their nations are going through, which is the beginning of earthbending in the show. It kind of talks about how that's how earthbending began with the Badger Moles. So, but the reason why, again, is because they were 2 lovers and they wanted to try to meet, so hence the 2 creatures. And by far one of the greatest songs. So anyone, if you're going to get this card and play it, if you're doing it in my presence, you're required to sing the song Secret Tunnel. At least that one part. Secret Tunnel. And if you don't know what that is, go look it up. It's the first thing that comes up on Google every single time. It's great.
So I have one more that I'm going to talk about. The Unagi of Kyoshi Island.
You just like big water snakes.
Oh, no, it has not. Well, it does, because this actually looks, the art on this border list looks like the art for my
your mono blue
Illuge.
Yeah. In the show, he is a water serpent. 100%.
Yep.
Yes.
3 and 2 blue for a 5/5 legendary creature, serpent, and it says flash, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Ward Waterbend 4, which that's pretty weak ward, because you can do creatures, you can do mana, you can do
right. But I think the reason why is because it's going to potentially force people to. It's like, I really want to get rid of that. I don't have enough mana to do it. I have to tap down my creature. So it's kind of like
leaving them open.
Yeah, it's like kind of forcing the. Do you really want to target that guy?
But here's the part I like. Whenever an opponent draws their second card each turn, you draw 2 cards.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, of course you do. It's blue draw.
Yeah.
I could have closed my eyes.
It's a fair Consecrated Sphinx.
I mean, it's a lot more toned down than Consecrated Sphinx. I will give you that.
True. It is a fair
but
Consecrated Sphinx.
That's really easy to do, though.
Yeah.
It's not a hard bar to get to. So don't act like it's something special.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah. Very cool card. Again, that same art style of kind of the old school blueprint paper on the background.
And then I have my last one is the one I'm probably most excited about. Again, for a Shrine deck. It's very powerful in a specific deck. Kyoshi Island Plaza, which again, story on this. This was a plaza that was on an island called Kyoshi. So 3 and a green.
Kyoshi's Island specifically. Keep going.
Yeah.
You're close, man.
But I nailed it.
You
Legendary enchantment Shrine. When Kyoshi Island Plaza enters, search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is the number of shrines you control. Put those cards onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Whenever another shrine you control enters, search your library for a basic land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. This card is nuts. for 4 mana,
Yeah.
you're probably going to get 5 lands, and then when you play another land, you're going to get more. Now, the only thing that limits it is you're probably doing a shrine deck with 5 colors,
Right.
which means you probably need a lot of non-basic lands. So this is probably going to cap out at like 8 to 10 maybe.
Well, except
But you're going to get all of them.
except there is technically a green card that for 1 turn turns all your lands into all basic land types until end of turn.
But does that do it to the ones in your deck too?
It doesn't say also
Yavimaya?
in your deck. Yeah, it doesn't also say in your
Then
deck.
I don't think this works.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah.
Nonetheless, even if you get 10 lands for 4 mana, holy cow.
Yeah. Yeah, again, because landfall needed help.
Yeah, right.
Well, this is
Yeah,
a
ramp.
shrine. This is shrine.
Yeah, but it's
you're not-
green.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're really not going to put it in landfall because you probably don't have enough shrine support to trigger it.
Maybe. So Kyoshi's Island. Kyoshi was one of the previous avatars. There's an island dedicated to her memory, and that is.
And she was a
basically-
fighter, right?
She was, yeah. She was an earthbender, and
was
she
an
was
island
ruthless.
full of women.
The Kyoshi warriors are specifically women only, so they only have Kyoshi warriors or women, which are in their honor. Good job, I'm
know
proud
some
of you, man.
stuff.
You do
well,
know
I'm
some
not going to
stuff.
forget an island full of fighting women.
But yeah, so the whole point was Kyoshi, and they did fan fighting, which is also the show. Obviously has a lot of
Yeah, which if you
Oriental
guys
based.
send us negative comments, we'll do fan fighting too.
Yeah, but it has a lot of Oriental based, obviously history and stuff like that, in a lot of its depictions. So, there was people who used to use fans to fight with, like as warriors, and that's what they do. Actually, that's what Kyoshi did. Her main weapons were fans, and the Kyoshi warriors' main weapons are fans. So very cool. So I do have 2 cards I'm going to bring up, just because no one mentioned either of these guys, which I'm surprised. So I do want to talk about them. So the first one. Mr. Big Bad himself, Ozai the Phoenix King. 2 black, 2 red, 6 total. Human Noble, 7/7, trample, firebending 4 haste. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes red instead.
So there you go.
Ozai has flying and indestructible as long as you have 6 or more unspent mana. So he gives you 4.
Yeah.
You just need 2 more.
Yeah.
Don't know if you know this.
So he's a firebending deck.
Yeah. Really cool idea and concept for this guy. The biggest thing, the number one thing every single person did is there is a red enchantment. You pay 3 red. After this combat, there is an additional combat, then an additional main phase. Guess what you can do infinitely as long as you get 7 mana.
Which all of us old players are already doing that with Neheb.
Right.
So now we just have a new thing to add.
Yeah, the nice
to the
thing.
Neheb deck.
Yeah, the nice thing is though, because he gives himself the indestructible and he's hasty, you can do it.
Unlimited. And he's flying.
Yeah, and he's flying,
Yeah.
and trample. So he's gonna hit you right. He's just a really cool card. The art that the one that I like the most is that black and white art I was talking about before. This is one of the 9 cards in that portrait. If you do that, so he's really cool. I really like him. I thought that idea and that concept was cool. He can go in Azula because she's blue, black, red, and he can go in this next card, which is Fire Lord Zuko.
And this is like your favorite.
Zuko's my favorite character. I think just period. Like
Because he's a hero with a temper.
No, because he has. I might hold on. I gotta try to get through this. He has such a great story arc of redemption that throughout the entirety of the show, you start off hating him because you're supposed to, and by the end of it, in the very last scene that he has with his uncle, you can't help but just have an overwhelming amount of joy from him finding the right way.
But I think even in the beginning you connect with him because I think they're on that ship, right? And you get the idea like he just wants his dad's attention. He just wants his dad's respect.
And like literally one of the first things he says is he goes like, I don't care if you don't think he's still alive. I want my honor back. I know he's out there.
Yeah.
Hunting down so it's this idea of the struggle that he has with who he is and his identity and trying to get what he desires most out of the world, which is honor, which he thinks relies on his father's approval, which he finds out towards the end. Spoilers, it doesn't. But so Fire Lord Zuko, this is at the end of the show. This is after he's been redeemed. Him and Aang have, quote-unquote, saved the world, as it were. And so he's a human, noble ally, red, white, black, so only 3 mana for a 2/4, not bad. Legendary creature, firebending X, where X is his power. So exponentially growing. fire bending potentially.
I get that exponentially. I saw what you did there.
Thank you. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, and whenever a permanent you control enters from exile, put a 1/1/1 counter on each creature you control.
So can I ask a question?
Going with Macaulay.
Are you just going to go ahead and take apart your other deck to make him?
Which other deck? Prosper?
Prosper.
No, I will never take apart Prosper. Prosper's my CDH deck. Okay. With that being said, though, I would absolutely rip apart every other deck I own.
I thought Calamax was your CEDH.
But
it is.
Prosper, you don't even have that many decks.
I got 22.
You do?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Thanks.
You tend to not bring them back out.
Well, there's a couple that I mean I try to, but the problem is with our newer friends we've been acquiring and playing with, a lot of them have pre-cons and stuff like that. So I'm like, I can't play this one. I can't really play this one either. Can't really play this one either, unless I'm going to be arch villain. Which
I thought it was just turtles. Your not infect.
We're not going to go through all those right now. Let's finish what we're talking about.
But again, with him being red and black, you have Firelord Ozai you can technically put in here as well. So that gives you more firebending, give more power. It's good stuff. So I do think it's cool though that the overall concept for all of the cards was pretty true to the nature of how they were designing and building them. The really cool cards, the bonus sheet, quote unquote, that are the 61 cards. To give you an idea, Force of Negation, right? Mm-hmm. Force of Negation was being reprinted. The Great Henge, Eldemir's Call, Teferi's Protection. Like, they reprinted some banger cards on the bonus sheet, and they picked really good moments. The one specifically, Force of Negation, that Jeff brought up, I'll talk about that because it's one of the most iconic. It's probably the most iconic moment in the entire show. Basically, it's a picture of Aang standing over Firelord Ozai with his hand on his his forehead and on his heart.
It's right here.
Yep, right there. And what this is representing is the very last episode of the show. Aang was conflicted with killing the Fire Lord because he's a pacifist. The Airbenders are always taught that all life is valuable. Very cool life lesson in general, but all life is valuable and sacred, and you shouldn't just kill somebody because they are a bad person. There is a point of redemption they should still have. And so instead of killing Fire Lord Ozai and doing what everyone told him he had to do, he discovered another way, which is he just took away his bending for all of eternity. And so what he's doing in that moment is he's taking away his bending, but the climax of it is the person that taught him it, which was a lion turtle, says, if their will is stronger than yours, they will take away your bending. And if your will is stronger than theirs, then you will take away their bending. So it's actually a moment of there's fighting willpower, of will evil prevail over good or vice versa. And it looks like evil's about to win, and then Aang takes over and ends up saving the world by it.
And he negates his force.
And he negates the force he has, which is bending. So that is why Force of Negation on that card is such a beautiful moment and was really well done in my opinion. So I'm an Avatar fanboy, so I will say
clearly.
Yeah, I will say as the fanboy, I was very critical of how well they were going to do this set. I am finding it hard to find something I don't think they did well. As someone who deeply loves the show,
well, they didn't do that.
They didn't do that. The market did that, and it did actually come back down, and then people started seeing the banger cards they were making, and then it shot right back up.
Yeah.
So, because at one point I think we did see it for like $560, $580 on Amazon. I think
so,
he told me.
Which we could have bought it then.
And
I think it got down low fives for sure.
Yeah, and then
I think I called you and told you,
yeah,
buy
you
it
did.
now, and
You
if
did.
it gets cheaper, you could always cancel your order and buy it. But
yeah, and then it started going right back up. Like the next week, I think it shot
kind of
back
feel
up.
like they tried to wait for like the last point at which stores do pre-orders because they get their allotment.
what is MSRP on it?
450.
450 and 450 and like 180. I think.
Okay, so we knocked out our price and availability discussion here, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We already talked about value. Value is really good.
Yeah,
I bought a really good
We just
reprints.
went over the cards. I think they're powerful enough.
I-
but the set's not broken by any means.
No, there's no card in here where I'm like, well, that's going to be banned.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see an issue with any one card saying like this is a problem. There's nothing to do to negate this, and it's just an issue. There's a lot of cards that they created that are creating, like you said, they're bringing back these old cards that were kind of niche, and it's making them valuable. It's giving them, hey, I can now use this card that I've been sitting in my box for 10 years that had no value. Now it's actually useful. And then on top of that, there's a lot of cool combos that are starting to appear out of this, like a lot of 3-card combos, 2-card combos, which is cool to see. But yeah, I think overall the set, they did a good job with the actual presentation of the cards, the art style, capturing the moments, capturing the characters. But yeah, I don't see anything here that makes me say kind of like the Final Fantasy set where like that's an issue, that's an issue, that's going to be an issue, which VV did get banned in Modern, by the way. So I'm almost there. we're just one format away. Like I needed the ban in Commander and I was right.
And I don't think you have any pro tips for us today, right?
No pro tips. Just enjoy this. Go watch Avatar. If you haven't seen it, please go watch
now,
it.
Just
now that we've
between
ruined
now
it for
and when Friday was pre-release, which will be one day when this comes out, hopefully, and
well, hopefully
one
maybe
week to
the
regular.
cards you get make you want to see why these characters have all like where they came from and what they did. Like for example, Secret Tunnel, the flavor text on is hilarious.
I mean, Avatar. And by the way, even though I'm teasing and stuff because that's what I do, Avatar was a good show. Like I don't normally watch cartoons, but Avatar is a cartoon I watched, and like I think Star Wars Clone Wars is like those are ones too. But Avatar is really good. It's a really good show.
Yeah, I would say it's a show that your kids can thoroughly enjoy, and then there's things that are happening that it's clean, and then there's things that happen that are on a deeper level that you as an adult kind of get and understand and will hopefully resonate with you. So I mean, my kids love it. I got them into it by making them watch it.
You got to get there's some silliness in it, like it is for kids. So get past that, but there is some.
They are 12-year-olds in the show, so
yeah.
All right.
Sloan, where can they find us?
Oh, they can find us all over the web sphere. YouTube.com/CommandersPod. You can email us at cast@commanderspod.com. Our website, commanderspod.com. If you want to support us and you want to be a Patreon, you can do that at patreon.com/commanderspod. Besides the beautiful sound of our voices, which you get to hear via Spotify, Audible, iHeartRadio, Apple, Amazon Music, YouTube Music, etc., as I mentioned before, this is actually a video podcast. So if you go onto YouTube, you can see our beautiful faces. You can see all the cards. We put them up behind us. And by we, I mean Duncan. And we do appreciate that, but you can actually see the cards we're talking about. Sometimes we just say the names just because we got to get through stuff. So that would be a good way for you to see it and see what we're talking about and be able to point to it for you. But that's all the places you can find us on the Intersphere.
Intersphere, yes. As always, play bold, swing wide, don't forget to pay the one.
We'll leave our mark.